creepy and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
Wow. Wow. I love this ice.
That's right.
Wait, fine.
I think she has Waardenburg syndrome. It causes those bright blue. What do you think?
The riots in England have got so bad that the UK's second largest news network had a segment this morning where they discussed the idea of banning social media during the unrest. So here's what's going on. 6,000 riot police have been drafted to roughly 35 cities today as they braced for the 8th day of chaos. Multiple countries have now put travel warnings on their citizens visiting the UK, including Thailand, Nigeria, Australia, Malaysia, India, and Indonesia.
Yep.
Members of the British Parliament have been told to consider not coming in and to work from home. The first group of people arrested for being involved in the riots appeared in court yesterday. The oldest was almost 70, while the youngest was only 14 years old. 100 people out of the 400 so far arrested have now officially been charged, and plans for extra prison spaces have now been accelerated. The director of public prosecutions warned influencers not just in the UK but around the world, if anyone contributes or stokes the violence online, his teams will go as far as to consider extraditing them to the UK to face criminal charges if necessary. Workplaces have been shutting down or warning employees to stay at home after police caught wind of potential attacks being plotted on 39 premises that assist immigrants, refugees, or asylum seekers. And as for the shutting down of social media, well, that idea was presented this morning on ITV's Good Morning Britain, with one side arguing the spread of misinformation on social media is fueling this violence, so safety has to be put first and shutting it down for a few days could be necessary. While the other side argued that you can't deal with this by shutting down conversation and free speech, and if we did do so, that we would be following the likes of China, Russia, and North Korea who implement these measures. So the question is, what do you guys think?
Cutting the internet or blocking social media or emails will blow up in their faces. God help England. Ugh.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
I need that.
Jättebra.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Okay. Good.
Ooh. Yeah, I heard that. Oh.
Gut. War das jetzt so schlimm? War das jetzt so schlimm? Nein, oder?
Ugh.
What's up?
That big old dog is so adorable, and he was calm, the whole time too.
This is Shaq. I just bought a penthouse in Macau. Come check it out. I'm gonna be doing a lot of business in China. Come check it out. As you can see, we got the big old entrance, the theater room right here. These are my bodyguards in the CIA.
CIA, okay.
Karaoke room right here for when I want to practice my freestyles and my raps and all that.
Macau CIA.
Get out of there. We got the massage room over here behind you. Not that I get massages.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, a little massage room. Hold on. Got my man. What's up, my man?
What's up?
Yeah, can you put
Glad
the
to
waters
see
in
you.
there? Thank you, brother. Hey, can you give me
You
like
leave
4 or 5
Shaq
club
hanging?
sandwiches too, brother?
Certainly,
Thank you.
no problem.
Some fries.
Some fries.
This is the guest bedroom. I wanted to keep it. I had a lot of gold in my reserve, and I'm getting older. I didn't know what to do with it, so I just put it all in the interior design. This is like the collection room. You come back out here to the living room. This is Danny D.
Howdy.
One of my rappers from California. Ice Cream, Gonzalez, and my boy Lish. As you see, like I said, I had so much gold in my reserve, I didn't know what to do with, so I just put it in the interior. Dining room, middle room. You see, I got the view. Piano.
It's beautiful, I'm not gonna lie. And he take 4 or 5 club sandwiches and some fries to fuel Shaq.
If you're right-brained, you'll see a dog. If you're left-brained, you'll see a giraffe. If you see anything different, you just might be pretty awesome.
Nobody see dog or giraffe, right? Everyone see predator, right?
What the hell is Ocean X?
It's the eighth sea. The reason nobody knows about it is because you can't see it. It's inside the earth, Joe. I discovered it a couple of years ago and have been working up the courage to come forward ever since. All the major seven seas have canals kind of deep below our previously observable levels, which all kind of interconnect and lead into this eighth ocean, which is thousands of miles deep inside of the earth. The aquatic creatures that we have up until this point believed were prehistoric and currently extinct, such as the Megalodon, Helicoprion, Mosasaurus, Tylosaurus, Leopleurodon, Pliosaurus, Chronosaurus, the Elasmosaurus, Plesiosaurus, Ophthalmosaurus, the Romaleosaurus, Cricosaurus, Dacosaurus, Metriorhynchus, Geosaurus are actually all comfortably residing inside of Ocean X.
Right, this is AI, okay? And could Ocean X be the reason why NASA stopped exploring, the ocean?
People have gone on a 40-day fast and cured their cancer. The body was never designed to eat 3 meals a day every day. We were hunter-gatherers. We would find food, we'd eat it, we'd go without food till we found more. But we eat food all the time. We weren't designed to do that. And so you need to give the digestive system a rest. It's very, very active. You're putting a lot of wear and tear on the digestive system. You need to allow it to rest and repair. I recommend fasting on a regular basis. As I say, I do it 1 day a week and then 7 to 10 days once a year.
I want to try to do 36 hours fasting, then having 1 meal, then having another 36-hour fasting, and continuing with this cycle for 2 weeks. Please, God, give me strength and the discipline.
There are 3 ingredients that you must avoid to protect your liver. And many times, the majority of the liver has to be damaged before you notice any symptom at all. So the first ingredient is seed oils, high in omega-6. So avoid these oils: corn, soy, canola, cottonseed. All right, ingredient number 2 is not necessarily just regular sugar. It's synthetic sugars. Avoid anything with corn syrup or glucose syrup. Highly processed, highly inflammatory. It'll keep your liver inflamed. These synthetic starches, I'm not talking about like potato, things like that. I'm talking about modified food starch or modified corn starch. And another name for that is maltodextrin. All these 3 ingredients make up the majority of junk food, aka ultra-processed food.
These videos always show, what not to eat, but never point the healthy alternatives.
My name is Trey Hudson, and I think we've captured footage of a portal, a gateway or doorway into somewhere or something else. I'm a researcher, and I've always been interested in, things of high strangeness, be it UFOs, cryptids, things like that. I have a team, and my team is made up of engineers, professional people. We've been investigating and researching since 2017. It's a place we call the Meadow. There's a lot of folklore in that area. That region is known for high strangeness. There are numerous reports of paranormal occurrences. So on 11 February 2017, we decided we were going to set up in the Meadow, equipped with thermal and night vision.
Oh, there they are.
We see you. We had clear visibility. We know what our teammates look like on thermal. We're used to seeing them at various distances, so we know what a human being size thing looks like.
Continue heading toward the entrance of the meadow. Just stay right on the edge of the wood line.
So we received a radio transmission from one of our teams on the east end of the meadow, and they said, hey, we have something happening here. You need to come over and check it out.
See the square box? You see the X beside it, or the cross? See the cross forming?
So I got over there, and they said they started seeing on their thermals boxes forming in different places in the meadow.
Halt. You're right on the edge, but it is fading away. It's at least 25 foot tall.
So this was interesting because cubes and boxes are something that you see at other places of high strangeness. It's like a reoccurring theme.
You're recording, sorry.
Right.
The team, when they went to the area where this cube or box was formed, they completely disappeared off our thermal.
I can't see them.
Did they just disappear?
What my team reported when they entered into this area is a temperature drop. Things were chilly, things were cold, and it was very dark and still, like being inside of a black velvet bag or inside of a blackout curtain.
Team 3, what is your location? It's completely faded away now, it's gone.
It's odd because this area, there really wasn't anything that would completely block and obliterate their heat signature. That's just not something that was possible. The wildest explanation is they actually weren't there. They were somewhere else.
All right, there they are.
I think they walked into a portal.
This probably from the same people who brought us, finding Bigfoot. Knowing it will never be broadcasted.
So the keepers are not the world government?
Of course not. But they control that government from the dark side, like gray generals.
I believe it. Even this present generation is controlled by darkness, but my faith in God and I believe our Lord God, Jesus Christ, will stand to the entire universe.
Dinosaurs are fuel, correct?
What?
Dinosaurs are fuel.
What do you mean?
The reason we have gas is because dinosaurs, right?
I don't follow.
Dinosaurs decomposed, and then that created like oil, right? Or something?
I don't think so.
Just edit that out. All right.
I thought you were making a fossil fuel joke.
Fossil fuel is what the oil industry told us, so they could charge us. If we knew oil was infinite, would we still pay for it?
Heard of a company called Blockbuster. They were the biggest movie rental company on earth until another company called Netflix ran them out of business. But that's not the whole story. There's another player in all this. And that other player was you. See, Blockbuster had a problem. They didn't understand how much power their customers had. Since nobody had a choice but to rent movies from Blockbuster, everybody kept renting movies from Blockbuster. They kept bringing up their fees. People started getting angry. Blockbuster said, what are you gonna do about it? Everyone said, Blockbuster said, what? Netflix came in and said, what y'all arguing about? Hey, everybody, I'm Netflix. But as you can imagine, nobody went to Netflix because Blockbuster was so huge. Now, Blockbuster wasn't stupid. See, the thing is about giant companies like Amazon, Google, they don't want any competition because they understand that when they control the whole market, they can do whatever they want. This is called a monopoly. It's bad for the people, so this is why most governments claim it's illegal. Now, people start slowly migrating to Netflix because Blockbuster's fees start getting ridiculous. $40 for a late fee. Netflix also has a really good online option. So Netflix is calling Blockbuster, telling them, hey, we're taking some of your customers. Do you want to buy us? Blockbuster doesn't pick up. They keep calling. Blockbuster doesn't pick up. Blockbuster eventually gives them a meeting. They said for tomorrow morning, you gotta be here. So the former CEO of Netflix packs his bags, takes a flight, walks into the boardroom. He tells Blockbuster, look, we online right now. Everybody trying to watch their movies online. Blockbuster CEO said, Netflix CEO said, I said, sir? Blockbuster CEO said, you said fine wine? Netflix said, I said online. Blockbuster said, first of all, watch your tone. Second of all, nah, the internet's just a trend, but since you came to us groveling, how much do you want? Netflix CEO said 50. Blockbuster said, dollars? million. Blockbuster said, they begin to laugh. Other reports say they tried not to laugh, but the Netflix CEO says they laughed at him. Netflix CEO walks out of the boardroom and his exact words were, well, now we have to crush them. And he crushed them. But here's the thing. Again, Netflix could not have done it on their own. Their online option was so good and people were moving online. But if Blockbuster had enough time, listen to me, they would have been able to just copy Netflix, spend all their money on an amazing online option and try to take over that online market. But they pissed off so many people, people couldn't wait for their downfall. And they fell hard from 9,000 stores to one. Look what you did to them. And that goes to show the power of the people. This is why big companies fear you, because it ain't no thing to go to another option if you have another option. But then the other option turns gritty and the cycle repeats itself. And you know, what can you do?
And now Netflix is doing what Blockbuster did.
There are people that I'm from Cameroon, from Africa, and they are surprised that I never see a lion. I'm like, do you think Africa is a zoo or something? They are surprised that I've never been hurt by lions.
Are you serious?
Yes. A lot of people in America are naive.
Are these black people or white people or all?
Oh, I think people in America is so locked up in the American culture that they really know nothing about the world.
You're right.
You know.
That's like saying you never seen a bear but live in Canada or Alaska. Little bro is too emotional. He got flashback in his head. You know, he got the Shane PTSD syndrome.
A pickpocketer in Paris is fighting for his life in the hospital after he was thrown down the stairs at an Olympic venue. This would-be thief attempted to pickpocket a 6'6" Texas man who had already had stuff stolen from him earlier at the Olympics, so when he grabbed this man's arm, he threw him down the stairs like a javelin. The pickpocketer is now filing assault charges because he broke several bones, but the Texas man told police that he wouldn't have broke that many bones if the man wasn't soft like Charmin. The police said you didn't have to throw him that far, but the Texas man said in the spirit of the Olympics he wanted to throw him as far as he possibly could. The Texas man was arrested, but he was able to post bail, and he immediately fled to a nearby airport and got on the first plane back home to America. The Texas man was asked if he's worried about being arrested the next time he goes to France, and he said there will be no next time because he's never going back to a country like that again. He said the country of France should be applauding him because he has taken a would-be pickpocketer and put him out of commission for at least a couple months.
Pickpocket tossing should be an Olympic sport. That's not how to do things.
How much money do you make a year as a trucker?
Close to 50,000.
Are you an owner-operator or a company driver?
Owner-operator.
And then how much money do you make a year as a trucker?
This year, 100,000.
And then have you ever heard of the app Fleet Ops?
Oh, no, I haven't heard of it.
Well, it's pretty much an app where truckers can go on, find freight, and skip the broker as the middleman.
Okay, cool.
I think truck driver is so cool. When I was a kid, I always see myself as a truck driver. You know, they make bang in the US, but not here though. That's why I changed my mind. I would do it if I was in the state.
I just got off of a 13-hour shift. Let's go over how much money I made as a local company truck driver.
So I did drive 500 miles tonight and I get paid 65 cents a mile, and then I had 4 stops. I get roughly $38 a stop. And then it is a weekend day, so I get $105 as a weekend incentive, and that brings my total to about $580 for the day. I also got a night shift incentive, but that's weekly, not daily, so it's not included. And then if you break that down by the hour, that means I roughly got about $44 an hour. Now this is like on a busier day. Usually, like, it depends on the day. Sometimes I can only make like $250 to $300, just depending on what work is available. But that's just what I made today, and I wanted to share.
How about maintenance costs?
That's all. Bye.
It's the witching hour. So the way that the occult works is the first 3 hours of the new day is when they get started. That's from midnight to 3 a.m. And what they do is equivalent to a church service. If you think of a church service, we sing and worship the Lord, and you know, he's enthroned in our praises, and we preach and pray and everything. And then we hope that out of what we have done, the kingdom of God is extended in the earth. That's the whole goal, right? So witches do the same thing, and they meet together and they enthrone demons, some by their words and incantations, but mainly by paying them in blood. Life is in the blood. So blood, innocent blood, is money in the spirit realm. You pay for things to be done in blood. And there's a whole economy of blood. So the very highest blood is an innocent male child. And then it goes to an innocent female child. And then it goes to children in general. And there's a certain amount for a priest or a pastor. And on it goes down to just, any living human. And if you can't get that, then you degrade to, oxen or a horse or a llama. And it goes all the way down to actually to birds and even down to insects. And for things that are lesser than that, there's cursed corn, and they do all kinds of stuff. So anyway, that's the economy of evil. So covens meet, and from midnight to 2 a.m., they conjure, and they do blood sacrifices, and they do all kinds of things to make demons happy and to barter with them for a favor of some sort. So it's like the barter system, like, how much for this? No, you need some more, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they barter with them, and then they send them to do their bidding at 2 a.m. That's why all horror movies that you'll ever see, you'll see the clock strike 2, because from 2 to 3, that's the witching hour. From midnight to 2, they have done their conjuring. They've paid demons in blood. They've done their deal with the devil. And at 2 o'clock, the devils are sent out to do their bidding and basically to deliver on the promises that were paid for in blood.
My pastor said, if you want to go into warfare, pray around those times and you will defeat your enemy.
After I take some pictures, the wolves, I can see they stop eating and they're looking at me. They're 350 yards away, but I can just see that they notice that I'm back out there on the lake. And then I see some of them are just really slowly moving toward me, like walking a few steps and stopping. And I'm thinking maybe it's best to just make a slow retreat. And I started backing up and walking back toward the cabin. When I got it was 100 yards from the cabin, those wolves started galloping. All 20 wolves started galloping towards me.
Oh,
from
Jesus
that kill.
Christ.
And I dropped that tripod right there where I was, and I ran as fast as I could for the cabin. Because I thought, hey, if I start shooting, what if they don't stop? The ones, it's 20 wolves there. I go in the door, and they're right there in my front yard. I look out, and they're 50 yards away. They're all milling around, 20 wolves. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is amazing. I've never seen anything like this. I'm like, man, it's time to teach these wolves a lesson. If I let those wolves leave now, they're going to think I'm just food. I run away when they see me. So I had to shoot some of those wolves.
The most interesting person on Life Below Zero on Discovery Channel. I don't know why they canceled him off the show.
Else thought about the idea that we were all groomed from a very young age to be members of a cult? And by cult, I mean the idea of trading 40 to 50 years of your life for maybe 10 or 15 years of freedom once you're too old to actually enjoy it. And if you question this cult, if you question this traditional model that we were all tricked into believing was the only way to do things, you're considered crazy, or you're considered someone that doesn't really want to work, or someone that's lazy. And in reality, you're just trying to think critically and ask yourself, is this really the best way to do things? Is it really the best way to do things to spend 8 to 10 waking hours a day away from the people you love most, 5 days a week? In return, oh, you get 2 days. You get 2 days. And on those 2 days, you got to do all the things that you couldn't do during the previous 5 days because, again, you were busy working. Like, how is everyone okay with this trade-off? You trade 5 days for 2. You trade 40 to 50 years for 10 to 15, if you're talking about the average life expectancy in the United States. How's that a fair trade? And despite this, everyone goes along with it. Everyone signs up for that college tuition. Everyone signs up for them student loans. Why? I don't know. They probably don't even know why themselves. Because it's the only way to do things? It's not the only way to do things. It's just the accepted way to do things. It's just the way to do things when you fall in line and don't question the norm.
They want walkers, not thinkers. But we are starting to ask questions.
Walked into a room and found a candle burning on the table. And I asked you the simple question, when was it lit? You said, I don't know, it was when I got here. Well, let's do some empirical science. Let's measure it. We measure the candle. We measure it 4,000 different ways. We get official micrometers. We find out the candle is 7 inches tall. Nobody argues the candle is 7 inches tall. When was it lit? That doesn't tell me, does it? Let's measure how fast it's burning. Suppose we measure it with an Olympic stopwatch and we find out it's burning 1 inch an hour. Now we got 2 facts nobody disputes. It is 7 inches tall, it's burning 1 inch an hour. When was it lit? You still can't tell me unless you make some assumptions. How tall was it? I don't know. Has it always burned at the same rate? I don't know. There's no way to tell that. So with carbon dating, they're assuming they know what the initial content was. They're assuming they know it's always decayed at the same rate. We know there are things that affect the rate of carbon decay. We know there's no way to know what was in it when it started. And if the Bible is true, and the Earth had a protective canopy of ice above the atmosphere, that would block out all UV light and would prevent the formation of a lot of carbon-14. So if you dig up a fossil from the flood, it's going to have almost no carbon-14, and you're going to date it as billions of years old when it just was in a different atmosphere, that's all.
You can measure the amount of melted wax to find out how tall it originally was. What do you think?
My name is Emir Basson. I'm a 23-year-old South African citizen and I'm currently stuck in Dubai, in the UAE. I have no passport. I have a travel ban on my name. I've lost my home. I had to give my dog up for adoption and I'm currently staying in a hotel room. I can only stay here for the next 2 days, after which I will be homeless, which is a crime in the UAE. This all originating from the fact that I walked across the road in front of a Chinese lady's car.
What?
In May last year, I went to dinner with my friends as we were celebrating a birthday. We came out of the shopping center and we had to get into a taxi that was on the other side of the road. I walked across the road where a Chinese lady was proceeding to drive in front of her car. I didn't think much of it. I got in the taxi and I went home. The next day I had a flight to Houston, Texas, as I had worked for Emirates as a cabin crew. Following a 52-hour layover in Texas, I did a 17-hour flight back into Dubai. I arrived tired, thirsty, and quite frankly hungry. My immigration card didn't work and they told me to go to immigration officer. The officer informed me that there's something wrong with my immigration card and just asked me to sit in a room. I waited there for 8 hours with no water, no food, and they didn't allow me to sleep. Another 2 hours passed and we're on the 10-hour mark. Police officers enter the room. They asked me to remove my uniform, which I did. They put my hands behind my back, cuffs on my wrists, and walked me to the place of work, to an unmarked van in the middle of the night. I sat in this van for about an hour or so with actual hardened criminals that have just been arrested at the airport, extremely afraid, crying most of the time. When I arrived at the police station, the police only spoke Arabic. They typed on the computer a lot, and when they were done, they looked up at me and said, "Sign on the digital pad." When I asked why, they just insisted for me to sign. When I signed on the pad, they informed me that I now have a travel ban, and they took my passport from me. They told me to please leave the police station, as loitering is a crime as well. As I was kicked out of the police station, I stood outside with my phone dead, my suitcases left in Emirates HQ, and no cash on hand. I had to walk 2 kilometers to find a taxi to charge my phone to go home. It was only when I came home that I realized the severity of the matter. Since May last year, following this incident, I have been under extreme amounts of stress, both emotionally, physically, and financially. I have lost my job. I cannot pay my debt, which at the time of recording this message, I received a SMS notification from the bank that my debt went off and there was no money in my account. This means that in the next 2 days I will be arrested for not paying my debt. The Dubai government does not want to proceed with the case of walking across the road. They don't want to drop the case, and for an entire year they told me that it's under investigation. On the 11th of July this year, my family and I begged and reached out to the South African government, including the Department of International Relations and Cooperation. We've reached out to members of Parliament, including Dr. Leon Schneiber, who is our Minister of Home Affairs, Emma Powell, who's our Deputy General of International Affairs, Mr. Tepo Labona, who's our Attorney General of the Consulate in Dubai, Clayson Monyela, who's our Deputy Consulate General, and Ms. Veronica Loving, who's our Head of Immigration. I've received no help. Most of these people have blocked my family on WhatsApp and refused to even speak with us because it's too much trouble. It's not hard to remove a travel ban, and it's not hard for me to go home. The situation is getting worse day by day, and I just don't see any light at the end of the tunnel anymore. Over the next 2 days, my resources will completely go depleted. I will be without food, without a place to stay, and I'll be on the street. I'll have no means of contacting my family as I wouldn't have Wi-Fi. It's just a dire situation. I miss my home. I miss my country. I miss my family. I just want to go home. There has to be a way. Someone has to know something. Because God knows I've tried everything. Hopefully out there there's someone that knows what to do, or even can help by the smallest way possible. I thank you for your time and listening, and hopefully so this can be settled for once and for all. Thank you.
Travel ban because of jaywalking case? That's extreme. Isn't there someone from South Africa living in Dubai who can help this young man? And bro, why you gotta mention jaywalking in front of the Chinese lady? You know, you're making it like the Chinese lady caused all this. So can you just say you jaywalk in front of the car? Don't go anywhere because we still have fire clips after fire clips back to back.
Check this footage out. So a trail cam was initially set up to record wolverines in Alberta, but instead this was captured on film. Pay attention right here near the trees right here. You're gonna see him move in a few seconds. There he goes.
Ooh.
As you can
That's a
see,
big one.
this Sasquatch was captured on film in Alberta, Canada. As you can see here shortly, he'll start to do the famous sway that they've been known to do.
Yeah, but that's not blurry enough to be a Bigfoot.
Turkish beekeeper cleverly turned the problem of bears stealing his honey into a unique marketing opportunity. For 3 years, his apiary was frequently visited by brown bears and causing over $10,000 in damages. Despite trying various methods, such as locking the hives in metal cages and offering the bears apples and bread, the hungry bears always found a way to get to the honey. The beekeeper decided to take a different approach. He would let the bears taste test his honey. He set up cameras and laid out 3 different types of honey on a table.
Smart.
As expected, the bears came and eagerly sampled the offerings. The bear critics consistently chose the Anzer honey. No matter how the beekeeper rearranged the honey, the bears always chose the Anzer honey first, which sells for $200 per kilogram.
Ooh.
The local media were quick to cover this story. Interviewing the beekeeper, he mentioned that whenever he watched the footage of the bears enjoying the honey, he forgot about the damage they had caused. Instead, he found himself loving these discerning bears.
He's smart. He got free marketing now. You know, it's good, by the way, the bear start moving his head like, yeah.
Took the brains of Alzheimer's patients, and I believe after they passed away, they went through the brain, and 100% of them, 100%, all of them, were riddled with mold. Alzheimer's is really a fungal issue in the body, and the tau proteins, which is what breaks down in the brain, is really breaking down because it's trying to stop the spread of mold. I think there's some truth to that. Whenever you have memory issues, brain issues, dementia, Alzheimer's, look to this. Mold essentially is a single spore fungus. Now, when you see mold accumulating in your homes or in a public building, you are seeing a colony of mold. Now, the spores will start spreading out to try to survive, and in times of when it feels threatened, it will release mycotoxins, and this is what you need to write down. It is the mycotoxins of mold that create all of our issues. It is directly related to anxiety. Directly related.
Allegedly, this building's harnessing atmospheric energy. What do y'all think? And it's accidentally going off. Keep watching. Check this one out right here. Come on, man. All right, I want y'all to watch how these columns and stuff spin, okay? So allegedly, they say that these were flying machines. I don't know. I'm not saying they were, but this is all alleged. Keep watching. This one right here is another example. I'm not sure if this is real or not. I'm not claiming it is, fact checkers, but according to my sources, it's real. Watch this one. Now, why? They say they made these for earthquakes and whatnot to check the building after. I just don't, you know, in my opinion, I'm not quite sure about that. What do y'all think?
I think we have been lied to, and so much so that the truth is stranger than our wildest dreams.
Okay, major breaking news. My country is falling to pieces. People are crying. People are angry. People are scared. And I myself last night found myself shedding tears and even sweating over the things that I could see on the internet. If you're not familiar with what's going on, in a nutshell, an unspeakable thing happened in Southport on the 29th of July 2024. This then sparked huge unrest in towns and cities across the UK. So bad is the situation that even Elon Musk has spent the whole day today talking about it on X. And speaking of him, speaking of X, I want us to see if we can flip this whole situation around and offer the only solution we have. And that's Jesus. So on every platform, not just X, I'm asking all of us, let's see if we can get a hashtag trending, and it's going to be hashtag Britain needs Jesus. Together, I want us to post prayers, Bible verses, and even gospel preaching under this hashtag. So let me know who's in. If you are, please type hashtag Britain needs Jesus in the comments section, and let's see if we can get the whole world praying for peace and love and revival to reign in the United Kingdom again.
I pray for God's intervention for your nation, brother, and the entire universe in Jesus' mighty name.
You know that American cheese isn't even real cheese. And it's not a surprise. I mean, look at the label here. Imitation, pasteurized, processed cheese product. Water, modified food starch is the second ingredient, palm oil, whey, that's at least for milk, salt, sodium phosphate, natural flavor, xanthan and locust bean and guar gums, lactic acid, sorbic acid as a preservative. If you look at this cheese under a microscope, it is full of microplastic. Ew. Not so great for human health. In animal models, microplastics are seriously hormone disrupting. And in humans, higher levels of microplastics in carotid plaque have been associated with significantly increased rates of cardiovascular disease. This is real cheese. I got some raw milk white cheddar here. And what are the ingredients? Raw, organic, whole milk, sea salt, cultures, and enzymes. Please stop feeding this to your children. Please stop eating this and eat this instead.
If you eat cheese with plastic pack, don't worry. They are made from the same ingredients.
I literally had to stand up to make this video because it's so crazy. I couldn't even sit down. Remember this name, guys. Black Sheep Little House. How this man, this grown man, has over 100,000 followers. I don't even know. But listen, this might be one of the creepiest individuals I've ever seen on social media. I kid you not, he's posted multiple videos talking about his sexual encounter with a 12-year-old girl in the shower. 12. This guy looks like he's 40. I don't know how old he actually is, but he's a grown man. Like, he looks old, right? Talking about how he never knew that a 12-year-old could fall in love and all this crazy stuff, and how she's the one to blame, not him, because she put his hand in certain part. Like, are you kidding me? TikTok, please take this dude's account down. I don't have much to say. I don't have any, like, what do I even say about this? It speaks for itself. You're on social media talking about your encounter as a grown man with a 12-year-old girl, bro. You're sick. Get off the app. You're disgusting, dude.
Thank you for speaking out. I pray he is found and put away. Children should be protected at all costs.
Okay, so here we have the one of maybe 5 in the world leopard dog. And what happens is, yeah, he was black most of his life, and then they go through a phase where all of a sudden you wake up one day and they look like this.
I don't buy it.
It's one of the rarest breeds of dog ever, and we're lucky to have one. If we ever figure out how to produce this insane pattern, it will be available for the world. But for now, you guys just get to enjoy admiring how unique and amazing this animal is. Look at him. Look at him. It was crazy. I woke up today and this is how he looked, and that's how I knew we had a leopard dog. Because you don't know until just one day you can wake up and they'll have spots all over them and they'll look like this. It's one of the most rare things to see, but I'm blessed to be able to see it once in my life. Unbelievable.
Okay.
Amazing.
Man, whoever did this, his paint job got skills. Don't take him in the rain.
Yes, I do have food stamps, if you were wondering. But I strategically claimed $0 income last year. Didn't have to pay taxes on anything, but it kind of made it so that I wouldn't be able to qualify to do anything. I can't buy a house, I can't buy a car, I can't do any of that shit. Since I already bought my land, I didn't care. So I knew I was going to come out here and do this for a few months. This was my dream, to be on social media doing what I want to be doing on my property that I bought, the unrestricted Rocky Hill, out of view of anybody. Nobody should really give a shit what I'm doing up here. Nobody can see anything unless you drive right up to my property. No neighbors are complaining. There are no neighbors. Anyways, back to the point. I strategically knew that this was going to happen and I was going to be out here doing this. So I claimed $0 income so I can get government assistance. I'm a former Marine. I was an airframes mechanic. Hoorah. Thank you for teaching me how to move rocks from one place to another. Whoever thought that the Marine Corps was onto something with that. But see, when you own an LLC of a consultation business or a services business, you can pretty much do what you want and claim what you want. Like, for example, a few years ago, I made like $85,000 doing a crypto consultation business, and people paid me thousands of dollars to teach them about crypto and how to do NFT collections or launch tokens. And I didn't want to pay taxes on all that, so I wasn't going to claim all of that. Basically, all you have to do is write, I'm not going to get in trouble for this, but people are going to think that I am. This is the freedom that you get in America when you have a brain, okay? Keep ready for this. So even though I made $85,000, I only claimed like $12,000. And then there's a box that says advertisement and marketing. How much did I spend to make that $85,000? I spent $73,000 on marketing and advertising to make 85. See how that works? When you own an LLC and you work for yourself, you have the freedom to do that. But since I claim such little income, I can never buy a house, I can never buy a boat or a car. I don't give a shit about those things. I pay cash for my property. You know, that's just my life. Don't follow me. Do your own research and live the life that you want to live. I'm no genius. This is my dream. This is what I wanted. I found an avenue on how to get it for cheap. I didn't want to go slave my life away to make money. I lost a lot of money in crypto. I made a lot of money, lost a lot of money. I knew what it felt like to be leveraging millions of dollars at one point. And it's an evil, greedy, corrupt feeling, because the more you have, the more you want, and that never goes away. And that's why I became so ultimately happy when I had nothing. And now I'm building my wealth by doing what I want to do, because I have to love my life. It's my soul and my spirit is so much more important than the materialistic things and the carbon-based life form that's occupying my soul. When I go on and I talk about my experience, that's what's going to really matter at the end of the day. So whatever happens to me out here, I don't really give a shit. If I can't do what I want to do with my life and fulfill my dreams, I'd rather not be a carbon-based life form stuck on this planetary divide anymore. I don't know who can resonate with that, but if you can, why don't you come hang out?
Okay, don't you have to apply for X amount of jobs a month to get food stamps? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm from Indonesia. Anyone from the States? Please drop a comment. Cool hair, by the way.
The gold vaults of the Bank of England store bars worth around £200 billion. They hardly let anyone film them, but the BBC's Frank Gardner was given rare access. He was allowed to go down, although he was closely accompanied by the Bank of England's executive director.
It's incredible to look at, but it doesn't do anything. Why is it so valuable?
Partly because it's rare. It is globally recognised. People want gold, so it creates a market.
Gold reserves, mined from countries all over the world, are held down here for safekeeping. This is the second largest gold vault in the world. It's incredibly rare to be allowed down in here, and the numbers are staggering. There are over 5,000 tons of gold bars down here. They're worth more than £190 billion. If you stacked all of these, one on top of another, they'd be 9 miles high. There's enough gold here to make 1 billion gold wedding rings. If you scraped all of this into gold leaf, it would be enough to cover the UK 6 times over. What would this be worth, roughly?
£475,000 at today's market price. And most bars are in this, what we think of as a trapezoid form. Mm-hmm. It makes it easier to handle. But this bar here from the United States is in the form of brick. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York, it is built on bedrock, so the gold can be stacked one on top of another. Here at the Bank of England, because it's built on clay, we have floor loading limits, which is why we have the gold in pallets.
During the Second World War, the vault was turned into a staff canteen, with all the gold being temporarily shipped off to Canada. And ever since the bank was founded in 1694, no one has ever stolen the gold.
Africa, look at your gold.
6 o'clock in Vietnam. You're looking in the sky and you see what? What is that? That is the firmament.
I had to watch this video twice to make sure I was really seeing what I thought I was seeing. This is news out of Lower Heidelberg Township, Pennsylvania. It turns out being a porch pirate is so lucrative, there's no competition for your business. Let's watch this together. You see the guy, the delivery guy, walking up to the door, all caught on one of those Ring doorbells, puts down the package, going to take a picture of the package, make sure he's all good to go. He's starting to leave. 2 different cars pull up. One guy, now they're going to fight each other. They're both trying to steal the package. The second guy who didn't get it is now going to break a flower pot on the first guy who doesn't give it back, yelling at each other. One guy leaves with the package. Other guy gets in his car, I guess, to go down the road and find another package somewhere else. The entire time, the poor delivery driver is just there watching it all happen. You got to be kidding me. I mean, is that really, not only is it in broad daylight, looks like a very nice neighborhood, you got 2 bad guys pull up, and they literally fight over who's going to get the right to steal the package. Can nothing really be done about this? Am I losing my mind? Or is there any way to stop these brazen thieves from going door to door, stealing your stuff? What's going to happen next? They're going to start pulling out weapons on each other? That's my package. That's my package. No, it's the homeowner's package. Come on.
It's too much, man. You know, it's called going back to the days of having the package signed upon delivery by the homeowner instead of just leaving on the porch. That's what we're doing here in Indonesia. Sometimes the delivery guy took a picture with the homeowner.
Fish, underwear and a microwave. Just some of the items looters stole from Bangladesh's former Prime Minister's palace. Protesters stormed the residence of Sheikh Hasina after she fled the country. Other stolen items include chickens, a duck, an exercise machine, a TV, a PS4, clothes and bedding. Some protesters made themselves at home, helping themselves to food, swimming in the palace lake, and taking selfies with the soldiers who were supposed to be guarding the palace. This follows weeks of deadly demonstrations against the government that saw at least 300 people killed. Growing calls for Hasina to resign led to her fleeing the country, protesters seizing the Prime Minister's palace, and a lot of the items inside.
Okay, they gave 2 beautiful examples. 1, unity can do anything. 2, humans without leader are animals.
Hey, this is a farm boy. I hope this don't get me into trouble. I put up a video that talked about food, and well, it got taken down, and then I appealed it, it got put back up, then it got taken down, and so I just took it off. Then I reposted the video and give it a different name, and today it got violated and I got a warning strike, which means the Farm Boy's account could get banned if I make any more mistakes. Lacking authenticity. Well, let me show you something here about authenticity. Now, you guys tell me what you think about this. Can you see those sunflowers? Sunflowers have a thing called heliotropism. They face the sun and curve their face towards the sun every day, all day,
every hour to absorb the sun. Can you see there? Yeah, they got their face turned away from the sun here. Now, if you look up over through there, you can see the beans and the corn and all that kind of stuff. And they don't have much choice. It's either grow straight up or fall down. But these sunflowers have a completely different mechanism. And for some reason, they don't like the sun. Now, I don't know what's causing that, but I'm inclined to say that the very people that took down my videos also might be responsible for this. I don't know that to be the truth, and I have no one to point a finger at. But I do know that these sunflowers are not facing the right direction. This is a farm boy.
All right,
Let
farm
me know
boy.
what you think about that.
It's over. New York City has run out of money and will no longer give migrants from Venezuela food stamp cards. The program began because thousands of pounds of food ended up in the trash can because Venezuelans said that this food was not culturally acceptable to them and that they could not see themselves eating American food. Therefore, they threw it in the trash. Approximately 3,000 migrants received these food stamps cards that allow them to purchase foods and anything that they needed. But the mayor has said that he's out of money. There's no more funds to fund the program that has been giving 3,000 migrants from Venezuela a food stamp card. And so it begins, because these people without food stamp cards, without hotel rooms, crime is about to hit the ceiling. We already seen it. New York crime is to the roof, especially done by these migrants who a lot of them belong to gang membership of El Tren de Aragua. The program was unsustainable. 3,000 Venezuelan migrants receiving food stamps for how long? Hotel rooms for how long? What were you trying to accomplish by providing this program? Because the more you give to people, the less they're going to do for themselves. The mayor of New York has been criticized because how dare he discontinues the program for the migrants from Venezuela? How dare he doesn't provide them with unlimited access to free food and free shelter? The rest of immigrants like myself, we don't get it. We do not get it. We never came to this country to ask for a handout. We came to work. Day one, working. We don't understand it. This is like a foreign language to us. And the absolute worst the mayor of New York could have done for these people is to give them just what they wanted, a handout.
You know what? What about the citizen that born there, work full time, and still cannot make it?
There are disturbing facts that you wish you didn't know. On August 2015, a man from Bristol, England named Mark Van Dongen was sleeping until he woke up to acid being poured on him by his ex-girlfriend named Berlinda Wallace. Mark would end up being hospitalized with extreme chemical burns and ended up losing control of his entire body except for his tongue.
What?
Apparently, Berlinda was very upset after Mark ended their toxic relationship, and she went on to purchasing sulfuric acid on Amazon. And when pouring acid on Mark's body, Berlinda said, quote, "If I can't have you, no one can," end quote. On December 2015 in New York, a 42-year-old man was riding on the subway train when he noticed that a man wearing a plaid jacket and black pants bumped into his butt a few times.
What?
The man didn't think too much of it, nor did he recognize the person, but once he got home, he noticed blood on his pants. It was later discovered that the man was stabbed in the butt 3 times as he found 2 puncture wounds to his left buttock and 1 to his right. As to which tool the assailant used, he still doesn't know to this very day.
What? This is just insane.
Open this door! Open this door! What's your name?
My name is Liam Rainbow.
What the freaking hell is Rainbow?
Rainbow is my father's name.
Where were you born?
I was born in Birmingham.
Okay. Do you like spicy food?
No, I don't like spicy food.
Okay. Why are you not protesting with us right now?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, because I've got no legs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I lost my legs. I know, I wish I was out there.
Okay.
Yay.
Can you swim or can you run?
I can swim, but I cannot run. No.
Okay. What do you have for dinner tonight?
Rice and red sauce.
Oh, how spicy was the sauce?
Oh my god, I don't take spicy, no. I just have salt and water. That's my sauce. White rice with some salt and water.
He's British. I like that. Do you like rock or R&B?
I love punk music, rock.
Oh, what's your favorite artist?
Hey, can I get it on? Do you want more?
Yeah, he's white. He's one of us. All right.
Yes, I'm white.
You stay safe, okay?
All right, thank you.
No worries, mate. Wait, what the frick?
Someone please tell me what the beep was meant for. All right, folks, thank you for staying till the end. Be kind to each other. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to like or dislike so I can make a better content. There's a free gift below. And if you want to buy me coffee or support me through Patreon, the links are in the description below. Have a prosperous day and God bless.